I started the Fig Tree, which is an independent nonprofit newspaper, in 1984. On page 1, in between the roots of the fig tree, we have the verse Micah 4:4, which is, "Everyone shall live under their own vine and fig tree in peace and unafraid." And so that was kind of the early vision of, and it still is.
All of the Fig Tree articles and the editorials and even the calendar, I think, provide an alternative look at hopeful things within this inland Northwest area. And you only have to read them to see it's not all violence, division, and polarization out there. There's people that are making a big difference in their community, and it's an invitation to really be part of that instead of part of the polarization and divisions.
I happen to live in a community that's an active community, but they're 55 and older, and they live by watching the television. And if you watch the news on television, you don't see the seeds of happiness and hope that you see in reading the Fig Tree.
The content is just always varied. It's always an exciting thing, because every time I'm encountering and interviewing a new person, it's, encountering the source of all being, or the source of truth. The concerns of life and the concerns of justice and peace and caring for creation.
I have been volunteering to deliver the newspapers for years, and I do that because I just love what the Fig Tree stands for. Connections, connections, connections.
Cross-cultural, cross-racial, cross-faith, anywhere there's, divisions, we try to bring people together.
Because we're local and regional, we're telling stories of people who are on the ground who are making a difference.
I discover so many things that are happening in the area, and especially now that we're also expanded into Idaho. There's a whole page of calendar events, so there's ways to get involved.
We are involved in educational events like the Eastern Washington Legislative Conference.
We also bring in workshops that also have legislative focuses on housing, environment, and other issues that are also located within our own community as well.
The other thing that we do, as well as the newspaper, is we do the resource directory.
It's kind of an educational tool of self-help for those people in the community that are in need or also wanting to make a difference in their community and don't have any other, means to find that information readily available. And so the directory is kind of a one-stop shop for those people who are interested in making a difference or are in a dire emergency need, for food or shelter or clothing.
Pretty much any need you have in this area, you can look through there and find an organization that can help you. And if they can't help you, they can turn you in the right direction.
We also have a Google Map version too that's online, and it also provides an expansion of services into Central Washington as well.
You can just stick in your address and then within a certain radius where things are located.
For COVID, that is for Spokane County, and that was created out of emergent need in response to that, with agencies changing their times or canceling their hours in terms of having, in-person hours. That information was changing, hourly and daily as we were moving forward with COVID. And so it provided kind of that emergent need of knowing when things were open and available to provide services for the community.
It is a lifesaver for so many people.
Once they are more stable, many people will look at it and say, I wonder how I could give back. And so they can go back to the directory again.
We came up with this idea of the spreading seeds of hope.
Seeds are a good metaphor, I think, for trying to help people see that there can be hope, and when we have hope, we can approach really serious problems with a better framework. Lots of things bloom and grow out of seeds.
Not only planting those seeds, it gives you ideas of what you can do as well, and gives you the encouragement so that you can go out and make changes too.
And seeing people be creative, which hopefully will then allow them to think, oh, well, if those people, they're pretty regular just like me in many ways, if those people can do that, then maybe this seed that I've been thinking about spreading is something that can happen too.
When we consider ourselves people of faith, it's not just something on a page, but it's living and breathing and moving into the community to restore hope and to build relationships.
I can't say enough about Mary. I hold her in such high regard for her ability to keep going over practically 40 years now, continually to find ways of staying relevant.
I enjoy being a part of this story, this wonderful newspaper that's such a gift to the community and has been going on for well over 30 years.
It's more of how we can come together. The stories that they do highlights the things that we are more alike than we are different.
Fig Tree changes lives, and that's why I'm a part of it.